This. Hey guys, Jag here. If you're jumping on this, please come and say hi. Today is 20th May 2019, and we're going to start our quantum mind meditation very soon. Glad you guys could make it, and thank you for jumping, whoever is coming on this live right now. Cool. We got a few people coming online, which is good. I can hear myself, which is good as well. So, all right, guys, if you want to have a better experience, if you want to just listen to this really nicely, I would recommend it. Come on Zoom. If you're not, that's fine as well. We're just going to get started in next, I think, in a minute. Just giving a few people to come in. If you're coming here, please come and say hi. Come and say hi. Let me know who you are and who's here. I can actually see myself, which is good. All right. So let me broadcast this, and this is going to be here. All right, we got a few people here, which is good on this as well. Hey guys, welcome. We're just going to get started. So today's session is about 3 Zen questions and how to become a superhuman, right? So the reason it came up to me is I'm working on a book, as you probably most of you guys know that I've sort of talked about it way too many times. What I'm intrigued about is, some people in life manage to become super successful, and some people in life don't get what they're actually looking for. They actually have to work really hard to get anything in life, right? Whether it's money, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business. So it takes a long time for a lot of people to get what they want. So today's session, we're going to really look into it, what's behind the scene. I'm going to explain to your logical mind, trying to make sense for everything and make you understand it. Where are you in this journey, right? As you know that we all are on a path to become something. Right? We all are trying to become something. So most of the people get stuck at different levels because we don't know that what level we stuck at. So we just keep working on the same level, assuming that we're going to get everything in life from that level. So today we're going to look at those different levels for yourself so that you can actually, move up the ladder basically and understand how to have a better life or how to become a superhuman being. So let's get started in this space. And we got a lot of people now, which is cool. I'm really excited. So let's get started on this. So first of all, before I get into that, I really want you guys to be thankful for you guys to be here, right? So thank you for your energy. Thank you for your company. Thank you for your presence in this space. And thank you for trusting and being part of this because, as they say that, teacher can teach anything he likes or she likes, but unless the students are there, there's no point in teaching. So really appreciate it for you guys being here and learning these concepts. I've been working on these concepts from last, 3-4 years. Last 18 months been pretty cool in this journey. I've been really strict in my discipline to learn these concepts in last 18 months. And I've just came out in January, made up my mind, stopped me thinking that early on that I shouldn't be sharing this with a lot of people. But in January, I came out and said, okay, now I need to share this with a lot of people. I can't just hiding behind, can't just keep hiding behind it and not share with a lot of people. So this is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's the reason I'm sharing it. And a lot of, I think most of you guys have been through the different journeys with me, which I'm really thankful for that as well. So let's get started. Firstly, before I get into that, I really want you guys to look into your life in last day or two, because we're going to be using this as a concept when we do the meditation. What are the 3 things you're really grateful for from last 24 hours, right? What are the 3 things you're really grateful for? And let me know what are the 3 things you're grateful for. I want you to type it in and tell me exactly what are the 3 things you're grateful for. As they say that in life, we really need to start thinking about small things, which makes a big difference in our lives. So for me personally, I'm really grateful for having a really nice cup of coffee today. Really grateful. I'm really grateful for you guys being here with me on this space and sharing this journey with me. And I'm really grateful for the content I managed to put together just in last couple of hours, right? So I knew what I wanted to share, but in the last couple of hours, sort of made it so I can actually share with you guys this. So I'm really thankful for this. Let me know, what are you guys thankful for today? How was your day, and what are you thankful for? What are you grateful for? Three things in the last 24 hours. What are you grateful for? Right? Let me know. Just put the comments below. Let me know, what are you thankful for? Right? Because we need to learn to be thankful for small things in our lives, right? If you are thankful for small things, these small things will become a big thing. So let me know, what are you thankful for? Put those comments there and tell me, what are you thankful for? I know a lot of you guys are watching it. I know, you looking at it. So let me know, what are you thankful for? Because we really need to use these 3 4 things in the last 24 hours. If you can't find anything in the last 24 hours, I want you guys to go back in last 36 hours, last 48 hours. Go back in your life and look at last 48 hours. What are you thankful for? What are the things happen in your life which you really appreciate and really say that I'm glad it happened? Whether it's small things like, having a cup of coffee, whether it's just going out and meeting somebody new, what are you thankful for? Really need to be looking into these small things for us to be thankful for, right? So what are you thankful for today? What are you grateful for? The 3 things. I know some of you guys are jumping on this. Let me know, what are you 3 things you're grateful for before we get into the next one, right? So it's really, really important. If you don't want to publicly tell, just write it down for yourself. Write it down for yourself, that what are the 3 things you're grateful for in last 24 hours or last 48 hours. If you can't find in last 48 hours, go back in week. Look at back in a week in your life and see, what are the 3 things you're grateful for. Really, really, really important. Really need to be learning to say thankful for things, right? So this is really important. So today, what we're going to do is, while you're writing down, just want you guys to give this. Today, we're really going to talk about these 3 things. 3 things in our life, that 3 Zen questions we all need to know to transform our life. This is what we're going to talk about today. 3 things we need to know. And also, we want to learn the path to become a superhuman beings, right? It's really important for us to learn. Remember what I said early on? Some people in life, they do really good things, right? They become like Elon Musk. They become like Steve Jobs kind of people. And some people work really hard, but they don't get what they want in life. So there is some sort of mismatch. It's not about working hard. Like, a lot of people work hard, but they don't get what they want. So how to become that superhuman being, right? We're going to look at different path. What is the path? So that you guys are aware of, what are the actions, what are the steps you need to take to get to that level, so it becomes easier for you guys. So let's get into the content, right? The first thing I want to talk about is The Way of the Zen, book written by Alan Watts. Alan Watts wrote this book a long time ago. If you don't know Alan Watts, go Google him. Really cool guy, British, with really good stuff he talked about in 1950s and 60s, right? He said in his book, The Way of Zen, is these 3 questions. As a human being, we must answer them. These are 3 Zen questions he gave. He said, who am I? What do I desire? And what do I know? So he said 3 these questions, right? Who am I? What do I desire? And what do I know? So these are 3 questions he asked to answer. Everybody must answer it. So, but the funny thing is, it depends where you are in path to becoming that superhuman beings. If you are in a different levels, every people on a different level of their path to becoming that superhuman answer these 3 questions differently. So let me give you an example of this, just so that you can understand this a bit better. You probably have noticed in life, when you work on something, there is a way to do it is called flow, and there is a push, right? Some people, they want to work on something, but they're really pushing themselves. Either one of you guys might be doing the same thing as well, right? Pushing, trying to get answer, pushing, trying to make money, pushing, trying to get into the relationship, pushing yourself, start a business or take that business to the next level. We all push, right? Sometimes. And you probably have seen it, a lot of people in their life, they don't need to push themselves. Things just happen for them, right? They are in a flow. It's like sitting in a boat where the water is going. They're just going wherever the water is taking them, and you feel that, holy crap, things just happen for them. And there is a reason for that. Things just happen for them. And what I recommend is, for most of my students, most of the people we work with, just trying to get into the tap into that flow rather than pushing yourself to make it happen. Because if you see that, pushing yourself to get to the one place to the other place, it makes you tired. I mean, makes you really tired. You get really frustrated. You can probably be able to do it using your willpower for a week or 2 weeks, right? Maximum. Then you get so tired that you don't want to take action, right? It just gets to the so it's really hard. Sorry, Emerald, that's okay. So it's really, really, really hard for people to get into that space where people, they're pushing themselves. Flow is the best way to get into it. So now the question here is, these three questions are the questions which create a flow for people. That's what Ellen Watts said in the way of Zen, in that book. So these are the questions we must answer it. So what are those questions? You must answer these questions for yourself. Who am I? What do I desire? And what do I know? What do I know? So, and also, what I've seen is, when I was sort of looking at people, every person today answered these questions very differently. Every person answered it. It depends. It depends what path, what level they at of becoming that superhuman beings, right? What path, which level they at. So let me give you very quickly what are the levels, and we're going to deep dive into these levels today as well. So if you want to become a superhuman being, right? People like Steve Jobs, people like all these people who have done something, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, name everybody, right? Whoever you believe have done anything in their life, or you believe that they are one of those people who are superhuman beings. And these are different evolution stages for human beings, right? So I'll give you these one from my way of looking at it. I say the first one is, when we start, is we live in perception. People who living in a perception, right? Perception. And the perception means that people who live in the world created by other people, right? We believe what they believe. We do what they ask us to do. We have goals, what they believe, what we should be setting. And the next stage happens is when people started to question those beliefs, question those perceptions. Means that you started to ask that, what the heck I'm doing this? Why I'm doing what, why do I believe this? Why do I do what people do, right? That's the number second stage. And I believe most of you guys, because you are on this space now, you're jumping on this call, you are part of this group, you are in a journey to become something, you are in a growth mindset space. Most of you guys are at this space where you started to question these perception, right? You started to question these, made up rules by people. You started to question all these made up realities by people. So you are at this space now. Most of you guys are number one or two. I mean, I believe number two or number three at this group, but some of you guys might be who's starting it or living in a perception at the moment. Number three is discovering the inner reality. When I said discovering the inner reality, after you question it, you started to discover it. Everything. People who are outside this space, they don't control it. Control everything internally. The way you believe, the way you feel inside, it just gets replicated outside. It just gets to see it outside. Say, if you feel shitty, you'll find people who make you feel shitty. You'll see that, and you probably know that time to time, or some part in your life you have discovered that, because you probably have gone into that zone where you started to discover the inner reality. And number four is becoming that superhuman being. um, where things just happen for you, right? And you are in that space which is aligned. You are in flow, and things just started to happen. Everything is just aligned. So you're not actually pushing yourself. Things are just like I usually call it inspired action, right? You're taking action because you're inspired. I remember Elon Musk's interview, and Elon talked about it. He just woke up one day and he said, I had a dream about something, and the dream was, instead of sending the rockets to the spaceship, what are the biggest problem, what are the biggest expenditure for NASA at the time was, reusing those rockets, because NASA never reused it. So if the rocket goes up, they destroy it and never came back. So Alan has that, it's a dream in the morning that why don't we just create something like this, which actually drops stuff and actually return back to the earth. and that was his dream. And that now you can say that, holy crap, he just probably thought of that way. Yeah, consciously, yes. But most people have these conscious awareness, right? The things just come to them, right? They just come to them, right? And these are called becoming superhuman beings. You'll see that a lot of people will tell you that it was just a gut feeling. I felt it was right. It feels like it's a good thing to do. Those are superhuman beings, and we're going to get to that level. But let's talk about first one by one and see if that actually makes sense. So before I get into the next level, does it actually make sense, right? Are you guys getting what I'm talking about? Does that actually make sense? Are you getting what I'm talking about here? So let me know what you feel like. Does it actually make sense? So we're going to get into level one by one. So we're going to talk about living in perception. How do people live in that perception? Where do they do it? Then we're going to start looking at it, questioning the perception, and in discovering that inner reality. What are those people? Who are those people? When you start to discover what's inside this space, what is inside in our human body, and then we're going to start how to become that person who's a superhuman being. But does that actually make sense? Am I cool? That's good. Thank you, Emerald. We got a few people here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cool. That's good. Good. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure you guys with me right now. Cool. That's good. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Emerald. Thank you, Colin. All right, cool. Let's get into this first one. Let's talk about the first one, right? So when I say living in perception, what do I mean by living in perception? So living in perception is we live in other people's realities. Other people's reality is you live in a community-based place where community tell you what to do. There are certain rules and regulation to live in that community. Parents told you what needs to be done. This is the right thing to do. Parents told you what religion to follow. Families told you you must do bachelor in this. Our family has always been lawyers. Our family has been accountants. So you must study this because you need to become that person. So remember one thing, the reason I'm telling this, I'm not saying anything right or wrong, right? There is no right and wrong in this space. What are we talking about? Where do people live? If you understand what you're doing, then it's a right thing, right? You do what you believe is right. But what I'm talking about here is most people spend their lifetime not even knowing where they're living and where they're at. And they're saying that things don't make difference. Why I'm working so hard but doesn't make any difference. So most people live in that perception. So Ellen Watts said pretty cool stuff, and I really admire that. Ellen Watts said that he's got a video, right? Just Google this thing called "There Are No Such Things as Things." Google this. You'll see that couple of minutes of video. So what he said in that couple of minutes video, he said, there are no such things as things, right? So it means that whatever you talk about today, whatever you want to talk about, this is a mic, this is a laptop, this is a screen, these are lights, this is a job, business, marriage, God, rules, governments. We all made it up. They're all things made it up in our mind, right? Now you started to look for it, right? Everything what we talk about today in the world today are made up by people like you and me, right? They are the things made up by us. They are the things made by us. So they are not actually exist, right? They're not made by nature. They're the things made by us. There are no such things as things, right? They're not real. Like even you talk about God, so you can talk about God, right? But every religion had different way of describing God, right? It's not a one thing. So it's not a one thing. Everybody describes job differently, right? Everybody's got a different way of describing business. So they are the things which we made it up. So there are no such things as things. And the way he said it was, thing is a noun and only exists in our heads. Thing is a noun and only exists in our head, right? And it's not, and based on this, it only exists in our heads. It's just the perception, right? We live in perception, means that somebody said to us, whether it's a mom and dad, whether it's a school, whether it's a community, whether it's a friend, they put some sort of belief in our mind and they created that for us. And we now grown up with that belief, believing that thing is true. And that's the way it is. That's why they call it a perception is reality, because it is real, right? A lot of people believe that it's 100% real. That's why people live in that perception world. So this is how humans evolved. This is how we evolved, right? So let me explain this by see if that sort of makes more sense, right? So when you stand up, anywhere we hear things externally, like you hear things with your ears. You hear things outside. We all hear things from outside, but we never hear, like ears are given to us, but we never hear what's inside our body, right? So heart is doing at the moment what it's supposed to do. Our lungs are doing what it's supposed to do. Kidney is working right now, so they're not stopping it. If they stop, we'll be dead. Any part of the body which stops will be dead. But what it means is they're actually working. They're doing the work right now, right? They're not something they stop and start. So they're working at the moment, but we can't hear them at the moment. The reason you can't hear them, the reason you don't hear them with your ears, because there is a different communication method, what we call it, what you hear inside the body, you hear them through emotions. You hear them through emotions, right? And but the funny thing is, we give different labels to these emotions. We give the different way to explain this. Emotions are not a thing, right? We just explain it to that. There is a book written by Lisa Barrett, How Emotions Are Made: The Secret Life of the Brain. If you look at her, and she explained in detail, but I'm going to sort of I'm going to just mention in a simple way. She said is, we only have four emotions. We have a pleasant, unpleasant, arousal, and calm. These are the four emotions. But what happens is to us is, because of these emotions, we gave different words to these emotions. We gave sadness, we gave funny, we gave laughter, we gave depression. All these sort of are unpleasant. If you talk about depression, if you talk about sadness, they're just unpleasant emotions, right? But we gave different names. The funny thing is, these four emotion goes up and down based on what are you doing today, right? This is the way that our internal body talks about it. Now the question here is, would you feel sad if there is no word for sadness? Would you feel sad if there is no word for sadness today, right? And the answer is no, you won't feel sad. And I'll give you the reason for this. They did a research. They found that the Haitian culture in, I don't know, some of you guys, you might have, one of you guys probably from this part of the world, but they did a search, they did a research in Tahitian culture. In a Tahitian culture, there is no word for sadness. For sadness, they call it unpleasant feeling. Something is there, but they don't know what it is. So they don't have a word for sadness. We describe this word. We made it like, we gave a word in the Western world, and this is called sadness. But now, if you don't give a word, you don't describe it, in the other words, the things don't exist. So now let's go back to those three questions, right? What we said: who am I? What do I desire? What do I know? So people who live in perception-based world, people who live in this world, who live in that perception-based reality, they answer these questions something like that. If I ask these questions to different people, you can say that they'll be answering something like that. Who am I? I'm a business owner. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a coach. I'm a consultant. I'm, this and that, right? So what we do is we associate ourselves with reality, which is made up by the world. This is what we do. And then what do I desire? We desire money. We desire love. We desire materialistic stuff. We desire something, which is made up by this world as well. We desire more money because we want to buy a big house. We want to do something. This is what we do. And what do I know? We know certain things. God is on my side. This is real. This is not real. My religion is better. My books are better. My way of doing is better. You are wrong. This is white. This is black. Very, very way of, one way of, my community is better. My country is better. All that, right? We know this kind of stuff. The reason, if you look at it, most people in the world today live in this world. They live in the perception-based world where things are given to them and they don't even know that, because they're living a life was belief system given to them by somebody else out there, and they don't even know that, right? This is the way people answer it. So if I get to the next level, and what is that? So we see things what we give name to. See, it's a really interesting, right? if you don't describe anything, if you don't give a name to anything, you won't be able to see it, right? This is an example of Himba tribe, lives in South Africa. In that part of the world, is they don't have English word for this color blue. So the scientists, the people who were doing the research, and they gave different colors. Gave them different colors to see, and one of them was blue. And they asked them to recognize this blue color because they didn't have this color, or they didn't have a word for this color. They didn't actually recognize this. They recognized different sets of greens, light green, dark green, and different sets of greens because they have different words for different type of greens. But they didn't have a blue, and they couldn't even see this blue. And I'll give you one more example, right? Long time ago, about 15th century, because the blue color wasn't there, nobody in the books even called the sea blue, right? They call it dark something, because they didn't have the word blue in there, right, in the vocabulary. So if you don't have words given to you by somebody, if you don't have a vocabulary of that, if you don't have that world which is given to you by somebody else, means that you don't even see it. So everybody today created these rules. Now remember, this way we live in today are created by the rules. And I want to give you this, and I'll read it outright. So this is told by a guy who made big companies, right? So I don't know if you can recall this, who said this. When you grow up, you tend to get told that world is the way it is, and you live a life is just to live, and your life is just to live live inside the world. Try not to bash into the walls too much. Try to have a nice family, have fun, save a little money, and that's a very limited life, right? Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact. Everything around you that you call life was made by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it, you can influence it, you can build your own things that other people can use. Once you learn this, you'll never be the same again. Can anybody tell me who said that? It's a famous quote. Can anybody tell me who said that? Any guesses? Nothing right or wrong. Any guesses? Who said this? And please don't Google it. Right? I know you'll be able to tell. Some famous guy said it, and he's not alive anymore. Recently died, but 80 years ago, he passed away. Created a $1 trillion company. I think the only company which reached $1 trillion. Now you guys probably know who was the person. Any guesses? No? All right, let me give you the name. The name is Steve Jobs, and that's the guy. So what he said is, all these rules are made up by people who are not smarter than you, right? These are made up people. So the first one is living in perception. We live in other people's perception. When you get to the next level to become that superhuman being, you start to question these perception. You start to ask these questions. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? Your belief system is not your belief system given by other people. So you start to ask these questions. Why I'm doing this? What's the reason? You start to say, I'm not going to follow this 9 to 5 standard of living. I'm going to create my own business. I'm not going to follow somebody else's method. I'm going to create my own method. I'm going to create my own standard. I'm going to create my own certifications. I'm going to create my own rules. I'm going to create my own recipe. I'm going to do everything the way I want to do it. These are the way people started to believe, right? So at the time, people ask or answer these 3 questions very differently. Who am I? You said these. Who am I? You still might say, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, but what happens is you put different standards in place. You say, I'm not going to follow other people's standard. You're still a therapist, but you say, I'm not going to follow other people's standard. I'm creating my own standards. You still desire worldly stuff. You might still have it, but what do I know? So this is, you started to believe. What do I know? Which is true because belief installed in you. You started to see that, okay, I know what is to be true today because this is given to me by somebody else. You started to know this. This belief was given to me by somebody else. All right? It's not my belief. It was given to me by somebody else. So level 3 is a discovering inner reality. There are 2 ways to see the world. If you guys one of those people who gone through the 21-day challenge, you probably know that by now, that this is two ways we see the world. We see this world by two ways. One is perception, where you see something which is a physically it exists. Means that if you want to see something, you describe that stuff, and then after that you name it. You want to describe it, you want to name it, and then we started to see it, right? We started to physically see it. If I don't describe this pen or marker, you wouldn't be able to see it. If I don't describe this cap, this is a tiny bit of that. If I don't describe it, you wouldn't be able to see it, because this is the way we see it external, right? This is the way we see things. The other way to see the world is called intuition, inner world, right? And the level 3 is when you started to discover the inner reality. What it means is intuition, the piece which connects your inner world to the massive energy fields which is available. We all know that by now, scientifically prove that we all have energy fields, right? Everything is around us is energy field. It's like a radio, right? Exactly, need to be tuned into that space. Things started to happen. Tell you a very quick story by Michael Jackson, right? Michael Jackson used to wake up his manager, and he says at 2 or 3 o'clock, hey, get up, get up, get up, get up. I've got this idea in my mind. I want you to write it down. I want you to write this song. Write it down, write it down, write it down. And his manager used to say, why, Michael? Why at this time, right? It's only 2 o'clock in the morning. Why are you making me wake up to write it down? He said, if we don't write it down, if I don't write it down, Prince will. Right, Prince will write it down. So what it means is the universe doesn't show favors. It just want to get the message sent to somebody. Whoever is there to receive it will take ahead, right? This is the way it happens. So how do you answer as at level 3? What do you say at level 3, right? You say that I'm a soul having this human experience, right? This is the way people started to answer at level 3. What are the other things? Your desire is love and connection. You started to feel that people are connected. We all are part of this world. We are all oneness in that space. And what do you know, right? You started to know that people in this world, everything is connected. All the people, energy is available. We all part of the one big energy, right? And that's what people started to believe in. And this is, I don't know if you read a book called Conversation with God or Gaia theory. These are the things which are available today. So if you read a book called The Conversation with God, exactly talks about we all are human beings, connected with each other. Right? This is how we connected. So number 4 is becoming superhuman beings, right? So superhuman being is what we talked about, quantum theory. This is what I talk about, quantum mind meditation. This is where we sort of come together, that every part of this world is connected. We all are connected. We tapping into our soul. We talk about unity. We talk about compassion. And this is where you tap into that space. And this is the quantum mind meditation, what we talk about most of the time, right? And what is the level 1 and 2? When you are at level 1 and 2, you talk about the worldly goals. You have these goals. You want to get to this place. You want to buy this house. You want to do certain things. You want to get to that certain top. You want to have $1 million in your bank account. You want to create a business which makes $1 million. These are the things which we do as level 1 and level 2. When you get to level 3 and 4, you do or take inspired action, right? You do inspired action. Even you stay at home, you say, I'm staying at home. I'm just going to look after my kids. That's what I want to do. That's an inspired action, right? This is because you do the inspired. Then you become that messenger. Then you become that person where things channel through you. Right? Things happen through you. And you started to believe that all the things are just happening, and why this happening towards me, right? People come and tell you their problems, and you'll be like, holy crap, why people keep telling me problem? You keep getting one signal or some signals all the time. And if you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, you believe in spirits, whatever your belief system is at the time, you started to feel that I'm getting some sort of messages coming through me. Your intuition started to work, and you started to hear that whispers, like things are happening, right? Things, you just turn up, somebody just, ready to give you the contract. You open up your email, things are available for you. You think, I would never ever expected that thing to happen to me, but why this is happening to me? I've never heard of these kind of things right before. So things just started to happen for you, and you start to believe that I've never thought of this, right? Why this is happening, right? Things are just happening. So we started to say luck is on your side at the time. So luck started to happen to you. And this is the way I believe we all need to be strive towards, right? We all need to be towards. Michael Jackson's story I just mentioned to you. So the big thing is, if you look at it, things is, universe doesn't play favorites. It doesn't say that I need to give this idea to this one person, or I need to give idea to the second person because it's a better looking, he or she is rich, or he or she is born in very specific country. So universe, the idea here is universe want things to be moved forward, right? Universe looking for people to carry a flag to take it to the next level, and whoever is ready at the time. And that's probably the reason I believe, and I'm a big believer of identity. Means that you don't get in life what you want, you get in life who you are. So if you become that person who is ready to receive, physically, mentally, logically, but also in this space as well, who's ready to accept it the way things are and ready to take it to the next level, things just happen for those people. And I'm really surprised, right? And things happen to me, I wouldn't have believed it. I know some of you guys as well in this space, because I've spoken to you, things just keep happening for you. You're like, holy crap, how that's happened? I'm not actually know, because you are in that flow. I know some of you guys just called me and said to me, Jack, I don't know what's going on. Things are just happening for me. You just got an email from somewhere. Somebody just turned up at your door. Somebody just called you out of nowhere. And you're saying, why this happening? Because you are aligned with this. You are in flow. And I would actually say that stay in this flow, right? Stay in this flow for a while. Enjoy this flow, because it's a really, really, really important to you to understand this. Things just happening because you made it happen, right? Because you became that person who attract things towards you, right? It's not so now the question here is, and this is a really important question for you, and I'm a big believer of listening to your gut, and I'm a big believer of listening to something which is not coming from your logical mind, not coming from your intuitive mind, that you're thinking through it, right? Thinking through does not give you anything. Thinking through does not give you anything, because thinking through is done by people who live in perception. Remember this, it's not for you. I know you guys are not at the level. It is for your clients, right? People you serve. You must understand that people you serve, the people you're going to work with, they live in the perception. That's why they want to think through everything, right? They want to think through stuff. But question here for you guys is, what are you listening to today, right? In your intuitive mind, in your body, something or someone is telling you something. What are you ignoring, or what are you listening to? What it's saying to you, what are you listening to that? And I really love to know about it, right? What are you listening to? What is inside you been telling you for a long time, and you keep getting that again and again? One of my clients keeps saying 22 number. Keep seeing that, right? Keep seeing that. Keep seeing that one number, 22 number, keep popping up everywhere. One of the clients, I know one of you guys mentioned that to me. It's just things just keep coming up. So the question here is, what do you keep seeing? What are you keep seeing again and again? Every time something happens, you keep seeing that thing. What is keep popping up towards you? What is it? Or what are you ignoring? What are you ignoring? Absolutely, I love it. Holloway therapy, awesome, Colin. That's something you need to work towards. You keep seeing this thing again and again. And what about all you guys, right? What do you keep seeing? What is keep popping up again and again in front of you? It's really important for you to know it, right? What have you been feeling but not taking action? What have you been feeling inside? I really want you guys to, take it out, take a bit of time, close your eyes. We're going to do a meditation after this, and we're going to walk through this exercise. So, but really important for you to know, what are you feeling? Because if you don't want to put it in the chat, I want you to write it down. Write it down on pen and paper, write down in front of you. What have you been feeling? And you're not taking action. What is it? What is it? Um, cool. Mindfulness, Anu. This is beautiful, because mindfulness is a word. If you keep saying there is a meaning behind it. So I think you need to pick it up and start walking towards it. And I think you're at the right place today. If you keep saying this word, you are at the right place, because there is some sort of message. What about others? What have you been, or what are you, have you been feeling but not taking action? So when you're level 3 and 4, you don't need a motivation. Let me tell you, right? So a lot of you guys come to me saying, Jag, how the heck you do it? How the heck you do all these content? Where do you put it together? How do you do it? When do you get a time to do it? You do all that work. A lot of content is happening. Where that? And I know some of you guys do it as well. So when you're level 3 and 4, you don't take or you don't need motivation. You do not need a motivation, right? Things just happen in the time. So motivation is when you are level 1 and 2, and you'll see that it happens for your clients as well when they need a motivation as well. And you'll see that they need just, they're level 1 because they need motivation, right? People who live in perception, they need motivation. Absolutely, because they live in some other parts of the world. Sorry, other people's beliefs. They need a motivation. So let's meditate. But before we start meditating, I want you guys to be comfortable at one place and put your headset on. When you're ready, type in yes, ready, so you're ready. But also answer this question, the most important question: what do I desire the most? I think at this time you probably want to put some worldly stuff into it. I don't want you to say, I just desire to go into the jungle and just want to do meditation for the rest of my life. That's not I'm looking for. I just want you to put something worldly stuff, money, cars, partner, something which is you're looking for, so we can actually do the meditation to be part of this, right? So you're not looking to go get into the caves and stay there for the rest of your life. We want to live in the world and still live a life which is fulfilled, right? We still want to live a fulfilling life. So what do I desire the most? When you're ready, type in yes, and then we'll get started. Type in yes when you're ready, and we'll get started. We'll do our meditation. We'll get started into the meditation. Type in yes when you're ready. Type in yes when you're ready. If you're watching this, then we'll start the meditation. Type in yes when you're ready. If you guys seen this, we're going to get started the meditation work after this. So we're going to do a closed eye meditation. It's really, really, really important that you sit at place where you can actually do this exercise. If you can't do it right now, thank you, Anu. Anu's ready. What else? Who else is ready? Ready, cool. That's good. Thank you. Type in yes if you're ready. Awesome. Thank you. It's a bit of delay in the Facebook Live. Awesome. That's good. Cool. Most of you guys are ready. So let's get started. So I want you guys to close your eyes. Put your headset on, close your eyes, and put that image in your mind. What do I desire the most? Have this image in your eyes. So what we want to do is, firstly, we want to relax our body and get into that space where you're relaxed, right? We want to do the breathing first. Then I want you to actually go to sleep and wake up as that person who has already achieved that, right? This is what we want to do. We want to get up as that person. We want to walk in that identity who has already achieved what we're trying to do. And it's really important for you to get into that identity. So this is how we want to do it, right? So I want you guys to quickly close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes right now. And I want you to do 3 by 3 breathing. Take a 3 breath in and hold for 3 seconds and then let it go for 3. So we do 3, 3, 3. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 3. 1, 2, 3. And let it go for 3. 1, 2, 3. So we do one more. We do one more thing again, same. We do 3 by 3 by 3. I want you to relax your body right now. Just relax your body. Close your eyes and relax your body. So now what you need to do is imagine that you're sleeping right now. And you're going to sleep as you are today. This is where you are right now in life, and you're going to bed. And you're going to bed and having a really nice dream. And having the dream in your mind that, what do I desire the most? Number one thing, what do I want the most? This is what you're looking for, the number one thing. You're not looking for 50 other things, just one thing. Pick one thing. and this is what I want, this is what I desire the most. That might be the worldly stuff you're looking for. That might be the cars you're looking for, might be the partner you're looking for, might be a lot of money you're looking for. But this is what you're looking for, right? This is what do I desire the most today. And you're having that dream to have that. So remember this one thing. To achieve that desire, what you have in your mind, you need to become somebody else. You cannot have that desired goal by staying in the same identity where you at. You cannot have the goal because this identity need to be changed, need to be moved to that identity which attracts what you're looking for most. So what we're going to do is, now you're having a dream, I want you to wake up in that identity, the new identity which has got all the things you want. That is the person who's going to wake up. So I want you to, in your dream, I want you in your dream, you wake up in your dream, and now get up from your bed. In the same identity you're getting up. Get up from your bed in the same identity. I want you to walk like that person. Walk like that person who would walk after you have achieved the desired goal, whatever that desired goal might be from you. Right? Walk like that person. So I want you to walk towards the mirror. Walk towards the mirror. And in your dream, open your eyes and look at yourself in the mirror. In your dream, look at yourself in the mirror. And you are that person who's looking at yourself in the mirror who has achieved that desired goal. That is the person who has done what you've been trying to do. How does that person look? Does this person have a different identity? The way this person walks, is it very different compared to the way you walk today? I want you to feel that in your body right now. How does that person look and feel? How does it actually feel to have that, right? Look yourself in the mirror and feel that after achieving that goal. When you look at yourself in the mirror, feel proud. Feel proud of doing what you have done. I want you to stay in this moment and look at yourself in the mirror and feel the feeling. I'm going to stop talking for 30 seconds. I just want you to have that feeling right now. Feel proud, look at yourself, and just enjoy this moment. Feel this person. This is a completely new person with a totally new identity. Stay in this identity for a while. Remember this. This is a person. He's the superhero. He's the guy. He's the girl who can get you, who has all the ability to get what you're looking for. This identity is the most important identity. So what I want you guys to do is now stay in this identity. Stay in this 24/7. Stay at this. I don't want you to go back into that space where you come from. So in real life, now I want you to open your eyes, living in that identity. Open your eyes now. Look around. Look around in the same identity. This is the identity who can get you anywhere you want. And I want you guys to stay in that space. Tomorrow, when you wake up in this identity. This is a new identity for you. When you take any action, you take in this identity. This is a person, or this is you, or this is new you, who can get you anything you're looking for. How does that feel to waking up in this identity? How does that actually feel? How does it actually feel? How does it actually feel? So tomorrow morning, when you walk in the city, when you go to your work, or when you go to get a coffee, this is the identity you need to stay in. Stay in this identity. This is the person, this is new you, who's going to get everything for you. Remember this, right? Remember this. This new identity is everything. It's very important for us to create that new identity who can attract everything what we're looking for. And when you are the person who does everything as per the new identity, you'll get everything what you're looking for. All right. Thank you for this, and hope you enjoyed this. It was very quick and nice, but I really want you guys to do this in your own time. Put some music on and create this new identity. How does this person need to walk and talk? How does this person need to wake up and show up in public? What does this new person do? Remember exactly the way Clark Kent and Superman was very different, right? New identity. Give yourself that superhero identity, whatever name you want to give it to that person, and wake up every morning. 5 minutes meditation, just to be, when you get out of the bed, you wake up as that new person. Believe me, trust me. When you wake up as that new person, you'll see that things will happen. You wouldn't believe things will come towards you. You wouldn't believe. You'll be like, holy crap, I never expected that. I never thought of somebody just going to ask me to buy stuff from me. And you'll be surprised. You'll be really, really, really surprised. Just because you became that person. So always become that person who attracts everything. Become that person. So that's it for me today. Any questions before we depart? What did you get out of today's lesson? What did you understand? What did you learn? What did you learn for today's lesson? What did you learn today? What did you like the most? Let me know. Put your comments below. If you're still here, talk to me. I'm still here for the next 5 minutes. Happy to answer any question you might have. Thank you, Emerald. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think I love it. Thank you, Colin. Thank you. It's very important that we have our own guided meditation practice. Absolutely have it. Every morning, wake up in the morning and wake up at that new character. Absolutely. Thanks, Anu. Yes, absolutely like this, right? Whatever you see externally is because it happens internally. Thank you. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for being part of this today. Thank you, guys. I think some of you guys, if you want to stay in that space for a while, stay in this space. If you have a bit of time, stay in that space and feel that new character, feel that new identity, and wake up and do things based on that. In the morning, it's really highly recommended. If you wake up early in the morning, spend a bit of 5 or 10 minutes doing this. live in that space. Very, very, very important. All right, that's it for me today. Please let me know how did you go. Thank you for that. Awesome. Thank you, Colin. And I'll speak to you guys on Wednesday in the same group talking about business and product and packaging for your business, right? So if you're interested, come on Wednesday. We'll have a chat. Thank you. And I'll speak to you guys on Wednesday.